Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be my response to the Filthy Icon, his 300 subscribers contest. As always, I want to start off by saying congratulations on the 300 subs. You should definitely have a lot more than that. I'm assuming that's probably because a number of people have not stumbled across your channel yet. So for any of my subscribers, especially for those that are really into, you know, hard rock, metal and stuff like that, you definitely need to jump on board his channel here. So after I post this, I'll try to go back and put a link in there so you guys can head over to his channel, kind of check out his back catalog, and he has some, you know, really cool stuff, really awesome collection. Excuse me. So definitely happy and proud to be one of your 300 subs, and want to make sure I pay tribute to your channel by doing a response to your contest. So let me kind of jump on board here. I wrote these down a few days ago when I first saw your video. I'll go back and do question number 1 at the end, because I have to, you know, kind of pick up and move the camera around, which is about your turntable setup and so forth. So I'll do that one last. But going to the next one here, when you play vinyl, do you play your records all the way through? Do you pay close attention to them? Do you skip around? You know, just kind of that whole, your process of listening sometimes. I can be very moody. I don't know if moody's not even the right word, but just, you know, in terms of how I want to experience music at any point in time, I would say that 70% of the time I listen to vinyl, I do not listen to the record all the way through. I really, when I get into a listening, when I have a desire to really start listening to music and really get, you know, really indulge in my music room, I tend to just go with my gut, you know, and so I don't have like any set rules of how to listen to music and that type of thing. So literally, I could go pull a record off and put it on, and I can listen to 90 seconds of it. And if you remember my subs contest a while ago, one of the questions that I had in there was, my thread was "been there, done that," which was, you know, kind of picking out a song or whatever that kind of related to another song, like maybe they had the same type of chord structure or more or less were the exact same thing, or samples or whatever the case may be, because that's really what I tend to hear and I focus on in music a lot. I don't put like an effort in focusing on it, it just kind of registers. So if I'm listening to something and something within that song, you know, 90 seconds after I put that record on, gives me this strong desire to go listen to this other album or this other song, I won't tell myself, no, wait a second, you just put that record on like 2 minutes ago. You need to, it's like, no, I'll be in the stacks pulling out this one, you know, wipe it off, get it queued up, and then boom, I'm swapping it right out. And when I really get into what I refer to as my DJ mode, that's kind of what I jokingly call it. If you just had like, you know, a camera off in the corner watching me, that's kind of what you would see, is just me putting on records and not necessarily sitting down and listening to them, but I put on this record and I'm already in the stack looking for this, and I pull that off and I'm swapping right out. I may listen to 2 songs on this album, maybe 1, maybe the whole side, it just depends. But whatever my gut is telling me, I want to experience this now, I want to experience this now, I'm just back and forth. And I'll even do that between formats. You know, I'll go 1 song on a record, then 2 songs on a CD, and then 1 song on a record, then 4 songs on a record, then 2 songs on iTunes, and I'll just be all over the place. So I'm very much just in the moment as to what I'm desiring from a music standpoint. Now, one thing I do notice is that when I'm listening to either typically smooth jazz, or I say jazz in general, and world music, I oftentimes listen to the entire album much more than I do just kind of in general with any other genre. So I would say anytime I'm playing world music or jazz, I would say just the opposite. About 70% of the time, I'm listening to everything all the way through. So, you know, I don't know, it's just some kind of dynamic there, I guess. Excuse me. So, do I pay attention? That again just goes back to depending on the mood that I'm in and why I'm listening to the music I'm listening to. You know, if I put on something like, what might be a good example? Neil Lofgren's Live, that CD. That's a CD that when I put in, I really tend to focus on the details of the music. His guitar picking, like how shimmery some of the notes are that he hits. And, you know, and I really, really get caught up in those details, if you will. So I'm paying close attention to that. If I then go and put on like Exodus, like the song Hymns, which is one of the ones I love by them, you know, that's one where maybe I'm not paying as much attention to the details. And when I'm in that moment, I'm just strictly paying attention to the feel. You know, it's just kind of, I'm just kind of like, you know, letting it wash over me. I'm not paying attention to the notes or, you know, getting that specific. And so, again, it's not something I consciously do. It's just when the music hits me, it's what triggers certain areas of my brains and certain areas of my desires. And I roll with it, you know. So I really like that. I like experiencing music in all those different ways, and I just kind of go with what I feel. So after that long loaded answer there, concert stories. I don't really have any that are like completely outlandish, because 99% of them have just all been like good. You know, I've met a number of bands, had the chance to sign it, you know, get a number of albums signed and all kinds of stuff there. So maybe I'll give you kind of like one frustrating experience and then one like, oh wow experience. Frustrating experience would probably be Gary Newman when I went and saw him. Simply put, this venue that he plays, that's a very small venue. The artists actually have to come through the front door and walk right through the crowd to get to the green room. So when Gary's coming out after the show, there's about 6 of us standing there by the green room. And I asked him, hey Gary, could you sign this really quick? I had one copy of his Principles album. And he was like, we'll sign things at the bus. We'll sign at the bus. And so everyone's like, oh, okay, cool. And so a couple of guys came up behind me and said, what did he say? He said just meet him at the bus. He'll sign things at the bus. So there's about 30 of us that are out there. You know, and so again, it's a small venue, not very many people. So the crowd just leaves very quick. 45 minutes to an hour later, there's only about 20, 25 of us that are standing out there. And the parking lot is empty. I mean, outside of the crew packing up stuff, there is nothing. The other 2 groups that were there, they were all just outside standing in the parking lot just talking to each other and, you know, smoking, and, you know, it's like nobody there. So then an hour and a half, then almost 2 hours later, and then the guy comes out and says, Gary's not going to come out, guys. And we were just like, wait, he told us to come to the bus and he would sign stuff here, and then you left us standing out here for 2 hours to say you're not going to come out. Wouldn't he have known that 45 minutes ago or an hour ago? You know, so that was a little frustrating at first. But then the tour manager was also pretty cool as well. And he was like, well, I tell you what, each of you give me one piece. I'm sure if I take him up there on the bus, I'll get him to sign it for you. And so again, there's only about 20 of us at the time. So we each pretty much give him a record, and he goes up and gets them signed. So that really kind of put a bitter taste in my mouth, you know, towards Gary with that, because again, you know, people that a lot of us have been supporting you for 20 plus years, and you know, you can look outside your window and see you're sitting in the middle of an empty parking lot, and there's 20 people that would like to just get your autograph. 20 people, and you're on tour, and you know, you couldn't find it to come out to the front door. So that was a little bitter. But one of the few concert experiences that were kind of different than all the others. Maybe one that was a little bit different on the positive side, outside of, you know, meeting artists and getting signatures and all that, is when I saw Boris and got a chance to get their signatures on a few things. I don't want to butcher his name, Takeshi. I'm not going to butcher his name, but the main guitar player. I'm standing by the bar / DJ booth, and because they're kind of right next to each other in this place, and then I'm standing up with this other guy. We're kind of talking or whatever, and then this Asian guy comes and he's like gets a drink and he turns around. He's like standing like right beside us. Like literally, the three of us are within 5 feet of each other. You know, neither one of us could stretch our arms out without hitting the other in the face. And we're sitting there talking, and you know, we kind of say hi to the guy, but I strike up more of a conversation with the guy that's there to see the concert. And so, you know, we both want to ask each other, like, is that, you know, is that what's he? But you know, like we don't want to say it like right in front of him because he's standing like right there. And then he's like, you know, he kind of walks off and like, hey, you know, have a good one, guys. Like, have a good one, blah, blah, blah. And then so later we come to find out that it's the main guitar player from Boris. And I'm sitting there going, you know, I just had like no freaking clue. And, you know, and we saw him around like, you know, earlier in the night too, just kind of hanging out and doing whatever. So that was kind of just like a little funny thing. Because I went up to him later, you know, got his signature and everything. And, you know, very, very nice guy and laid back. But, you know, to be such a fan of an artist and to have their records and everything, and then have that artist standing like right beside you and you don't even really know it, you know, that was kind of a funny story, I guess. But let me move right along. Sorry, been a little under the weather the last couple of days, so let's see. Do you play an instrument, and what do you play, and if so, can you play it? I mess around on guitar a little bit. With my setup right here, I can't really play it and do it, especially with this camera, not having the stand and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I do play a little bit of guitar. I'm not very good at all. I don't really practice that much at all anymore. I kind of just know what I used to know, and nothing new is really coming in. So yeah, I dabble, but nothing that's going to put me in a band anytime soon. Let's see, what else? Best pickup of 2014. There's actually a couple things that I could have picked, but one would have been a CD box set, but I'm going to stick with vinyl because I'm assuming that's kind of where you're really going with this. And it's kind of easy to pick this one too because this one came right at the end of 2014 when I got this. But arguably one of my favorite vinyl box pieces, I think I recently showed it in a video not too long ago, which is my Rainbow studio album box set. I absolutely love this set. Love it to death. And I had a majority of these albums, well, just yeah, almost every one of them. And I kind of sold them and then used that money to buy the actual box set. And I'm so glad I did, because I love everything about this box. I love outside of just the music, the pressings sound great. I love the size of the box itself. I mean, as weird as that may sound, when they try to make these thinner sets and really pack them / overpack them in like they did with the Blondie set and kind of with the Iron Maiden set, they made this one with plenty of room. The heavier weight type material they use in making the covers and everything, this is just a perfect box set to me. So this was by far my favorite pickup of 2014. All right, and last but not least, see, is that it? Yeah, turntable setup. So I will go over and share that with you here really quick. And you know, I have a number of different turntable setup because I don't really get rid of stuff. So I've accumulated, you know, record players and receivers and everything like that. But again, I'll just use this. I'll actually just show kind of my main setup, the one that I use the most. So I have to go for a little ride here really quick, VC. And let me get the lights. So this is going to be my main setup right here. And I'll just kind of go through the individual pieces. This works out well too, because I think John asked me a little while ago to do a video on this. So this will give him a chance to see what he wanted to check out as well. Let me turn a little extra light. Okay, so we start off here. I have the Music Hall 2.2 turntable I'm using, and I did swap out to get the acrylic platter on that. cartridge wise, like most people, I'm using the Ortofon 2M Red, which really is a great cartridge for the price too. I highly recommend that. For my iTunes and so forth, I have the wireless USB DAC, the NAD, which works, I mean, absolutely great. I have that hooked up to my little laptop over here. So that's where I do all my iTunes and everything. But that's what I use to play my computer through my system. As far as preamps go, I have this Parasound Z-Phono preamplifier, which works really nice. Very cost-effective way to really increase the sound quality. And my receiver, the Marantz 2275. It was kind of my dream receiver for quite some time, so I was happy to finally get my hands on that. Just had it serviced not too long ago, so it's working absolutely perfect. And my CD player here, this is the Onkyo C7030. Again, not like the highest end of CD players or anything, but definitely a very nice CD player. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But I do want to upgrade to one of the new Marantz CD players, but as always, it's kind of a matter of saving and figuring out how to do that after you take care of bills and everything else. Now, I used to have this this Monster Power, this HTS 3600. I used to have this on my main my TV and surround sound system over there. But then the more I thought about it in terms of balance of power and things I'd be more adamant to protect, I thought it would make more sense to kind of move that over here. So that's what I'm kind of using as my kind of reference center, if you will, reference power center. And then speaker-wise, of course, the BMW 685s. I forgot what brand those stands are, but I got them from the same place that I got the speakers from. And for the most part, that's kind of that is my main stereo setup there. All right, so there you go, man. Again, congratulations on the 300 subs, and as always, let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care.